Hello. I hope you enjoyed the first half of TEDxHIU. Oh, thank you. I'm glad to hear that. I'm the first speaker of the second half. My name is Daiki Sakurai. I'm a student in this college. When I was first proposed to speak at this event, I wasn't very confident. But at the same time, I thought, what if my idea helps someone to try new things? If so, it's very great. So I'm here. Everyone is afraid of making a mistake. I'm also afraid of it, of course. Imagine that you have an opportunity to try something difficult. If you focus only on the risk of making a mistake, you will probably lose your courage to try it. Even if you know there's a possibility that it will bring a positive outcome and help you to move forward. I have an idea that will help you to make a valiant or right decision in such situation. To show the idea, please let me tell you about my experience first. When I was a junior high school student, I had a dream. My dream was to be a diplomat. I knew it was a very hard process because those who wanted to be it were required to pass some of the most difficult interview and paper examinations in Japan. But I really wanted to be it and wanted to work globally and to contribute to my own country. So I started very hard, and successfully I could enter the high school that I wanted to go to. I felt that I could clear the first hurdle toward my dream. The next obstacle to overcome was to get into a certain university because it was thought to be an essential qualification to accomplish the goal. So I devoted all my high school life to preparing for an entrance examination of that university. Getting out of high school around 4 o'clock, I went to a prep school and studied there until late every night. At that time, studying and getting high scores on tests were the only aims of my life. I didn't regard this suffering because no one told me to do so, but it was my own decision. And in February, I took the exam and I failed it. I knew it was very difficult to pass, and I thought I had completed my mental preparation. Despite the preparation for retaking it next year, I was very depressed. It was too hard for me even to simply get through each day. My chest feels tight all the time. It was so hard for me that gradually I even had a death wish. Some of you may wonder why failing an exam, a trivial event, caused me to feel so. From an objective point of view, Many high school students in Japan have the same or similar experience. It shouldn't be anything to get so depressed about. But for me, it was continuing to struggle and lowering my sights were both oppressive decisions. So giving up all the things seemed best to me. And finally, I considered my death as an unrealistic choice. It made me feel better, though you may be skeptical. Actually, I was relieved finding that there's a way to relieve from my suffering. I searched the web and books to find the least painful way. But one day, I found a book of travel at a bookstore. The book was about the author's experience of traveling all over the world. And I came up with an idea. My thoughts went like this. Now, well, I'm going to die, and I can choose my death anytime I like. Then, it's not bad to do something I've never done and won't intend to do. Right now, let's travel around the world. I should do what I like to do. The choice meant that I ran away from what I had to do. So it should have been the last decision to make. But I couldn't bear up anymore. I bought a ticket from Narita Airport to the UK. I planned to start traveling from there. And I was going to travel in many countries. And I planned to finish my life after my money completely dried up. It sounded sweet for me. I went out home without telling anything to my family. I left Sapporo for Tokyo and stayed at a cheap hotel. I'm very sorry about that for my family now. But eventually, I didn't take the flight because when I woke up, the plane had already gone. I was very stupid. Anyway, unfortunately or fortunately, I missed the flight and the travel was postponed. But I didn't care about it because I had nothing to lose anymore. And my next thought was to save up money for the trip. So I was going to work part-time. But the problem was I didn't have a place to live. As I was in Tokyo then. So I called my best friend and asked him to live temporarily. He kindly accepted. I'm truly grateful for him. Living in his house, I worked part-time for 2 months, and after that, living in an apartment in a company dormitory, I continued to work for about a year. And I realized I'm still alive, but it doesn't hurt as much as I had thought. At the same time, I felt like the field where I can utilize my ability is not a part-time job, but a work based on academic training. So I wanted to try again. Still, I was afraid of failing again. And I was afraid of being regarded as a fool who failed some exams and had to enter a college of lower ranking. But two things helped me not to become ambivalent. The one is the experience, concentrating my effort on one thing. And the other is the notion that I can choose my death anytime I like. I mean, the notion that the last choice is in my own hand. After that, I could do what I like to do more daringly than before. For example, I went to study abroad for about a year and entered this college, HIU, according to my interest in computer graphics. And now here, I'm speaking to you at this TEDx event. Thank you. These are the things that I thought I never could do. Now, I study stuff concerned with information technology, especially with networks. I'm going to keep it up and believe I will someday be a man who can play an active role in information business. The notion that I can choose my death anytime I like enables me to try again, and it gives me a relief from most kinds of pressure. It may sound paradoxical or controversial, but it is true that I was saved thanks to this way of thinking. Although I've made many mistakes and failed in many kinds of things, I can continue give my best effort, believing that someday I can recognize that I did my best. Believing that all the experience, all the things I've experienced, I can take advantage of them. And I'm very grateful for everyone who has supported me, especially for my family and for my friends. By any chance, don't you have something that you want to do you? You can try anything you like. If you fail, it's no problem. Because I really believe our experience will help you develop yourselves. At last, my idea worth spreading is very simple. To all the young, like me, and to those who are wondering what success is, don't be afraid of failure. That's my idea. Thank you.